Settling down into an easy cross-legged seat. Today's practice will have a more passive energy for some stress relief, and will be a full beginner one, level one practice, focusing on core strength. As you arrive here in this easy seat, maybe be aware of your sit bones, the 2 points that are making connection with the floor at the base of your pelvis. And maybe let your body drift to the front of those sit bones. And then with navel drawing in and up, begin to engage the core right away as you become aware of an even, steady breath. With inhales that lift the crown of your head taller, and exhales that ground you firmly into the floor, relaxing the shoulders. With your next inhale, lift your arms, fingertips reach. And with your exhale, move them out to the side like goalposts, shoulders back, elbows back, hands back. And inhale, fingertips reach. And exhale, pull them back like half angel wings. One more time, your inhale lifts the arms long, feel long through your sides of your body. And exhale, open out to the side. One more time, inhale to lift, lengthen everything, even shoulders lift by ears. And exhale, hands come back down to your knees. Holding behind your thighs, just very gently roll back onto your back. Arms go straight above you, fingertips pointing up to the sky, knees above hips and shins parallel to the floor. Your head can rest back. On an inhale, extend your right leg long toward the front edge of your mat. And on your exhale, draw right knee to right tricep, pull it in, feel the core engage. Send right leg out once again, flat along your mat. And this time, as your right knee comes into right bicep, bring head and chest up, engaging that core. And release the right leg long. Head rest down, bring knees back together, take a breath. And now on the inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Feel the core engage. Extend on your inhale. And on your exhale, draw knee to bicep, fingers reach higher. And inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, knees together, pause here. Now flex the feet, straighten the legs, flex the hands. Orient the fingers toward the earth, biceps by ears, and start to extend. Energize legs. Heels moving away from the body. And with core engaged, start to allow the legs to drop forward without creating too much of a big arch in the lower back. Hold for a couple breaths. If you'd like a little more work, you can lower the legs. Maybe there's a little shake, that's okay. But if you lose your alignment and the back starts to lift too much, bring the feet a little higher. Take one more breath here. And then you can either roll to your side to come up to the front of your mat, or you might rock and roll. You can hold behind the thighs, hold the legs, maybe take a few rocks as a nice massage on the spine, and then make your way up to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Take a couple breaths here in this forward fold. And on your inhale, let's lift halfway up. If you use your hands to draw up on the legs, you might feel a little more extension in the lower back, the lumbar spine, gazing straight down with length behind your neck. Cores engaged, navel's drawing in and up. And with an exhale, release, forward fold. Place weight into your right leg, hands to your right thigh, and step the right foot back into a lunge. Press up with your hands to lift the torso more upright.
Left foot back.
Press back with the left heel as you sink lower in the hips. And again, we're still engaging in the core here, navel's in and up. For one breath, and on your exhale, let the back knee come down. Open the arms out to a T and rotate to the right, feeling your right ribs come around to the right. Inhale to grow taller, exhale, navel in, twist deeper. Let the right hand come down, the left hand lift up for a breath. Exhale. One more breath. And then bring hands back to the knee. Sink in that lunge and lift the back knee up. Breathing here. And then let the back knee come down. Bring the right foot back for a little toe stand here. Take a breath. And then let the tops of the feet come to the floor. Lean forward with elbows to floor and walk the elbows forward so that your torso is long. And let the belly come down into a Sphinx pose. Take a breath here. Shoulders away from ears. Navel still drawing in and up. And now turn the toes under and press into forearm plank. We'll be here for several breaths. So lifting the hips as high as the shoulders. Maybe feel a little shake, a little tapas, a little heat. Heels are pushing back. Shoulder blades push away from each other. And on your next exhale, let the hips come down into Sphinx one more time for a breath. Come back up onto the knees. Walk the knees forward. Curl toes under. Come back into that little toe stand and take a breath here. One more time, engage core to bring elbows down to the floor. And this time the hips will lift with the toes curled under into a dolphin pose. So pressing the hips back and away. Bent knees will allow more extension in the spine, and then a straighter leg takes this pose into the hamstrings. A couple breaths here. Feel that your breath is going all the way into your core. A long, steady breath and a longer exhale to bring the knees down. Sit back on the heels. Take a breath. And then we'll step forward once again into a forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up, extending the spine. And exhale, let the crown spill toward the earth. Inhale with a slight bend in the knees, bring the arms all the way up, reaching tall. And exhale, swan dive forward once again. Inhale, you can press on the shins to lengthen the spine. And now with the hands to the the left thigh, weight into the left foot, send the right foot back into a high lunge. Pause for a breath. Let the right knee come down, the arms open to a T, twisting left. Be aware of this twist happening at the core. Navel's in. Left ribs yearning back. One more breath. Drop the left hand back, the right hand reaches up. Extend the right fingers to touch the sky. One more breath. And bring the hands back to the thigh. Lift the back leg, high lunge. And then let the right knee come down. Bring the right toes back. Take a breath here in this little toe stand, toes curled under, knees down.
Left toes back, sorry.
Find your alignment through the core, navel's in and up. And then one more time, we'll lower to the tops of the feet, walk forward on those elbows. Find Sphinx pose. Take a breath. The elbows drawing closer to the body while the heart moves through the biceps toward the front of the mat. Pressing down in the arms to lift the ears away from the shoulders. Let's curl toes under, and one more time go back to that forearm plank. Building your heat, working that core. One more breath. And then let the knees come down. Take one breath in Sphinx. From Sphinx, press the hips up and back into Dolphin. You can walk feet forward. Again, bend knees as generously as you like, lifting the hips, straightening the legs a little more. Crown of the head toward the earth, pressing into the forearms. And then let the knees come down. Tops of the feet down, walk the hands back to the thighs. And once again, step to the front of your mat. And find that forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, spill forward. Inhale, lifts arms all the way up, reaching tall through the side body. And exhale, swan dive all the way back down. Bring toes to touch a little space between heels. Bend the knees, come into chair pose. Big breath, feel the breath come through the chest into the rib, all the way to the lower abs. This long line of breath that supports this powerful pose. Weight in the heels, hips are back, biceps by ears. And exhale, straighten the legs, spill forward. In breath brings you halfway up. Weight into the right foot, hands to the right thigh, step that left foot back. Come into a high lunge this time, arms reach up. Sink deeper, left heel presses back. Core engaged with navel still drawing in and up. Right hip pulling back. And now open your body to the left, coming into warrior two. Left toes turn left. Right knee over right ankle. To your degree, the right leg might be straight, slightly bent, or above the ankle. Core is still engaged, shoulders down and relaxed.
Torso
Ribs
up,
knitted in.
arms
Right
out.
hip pulls back as you turn and gaze over the right fingertips. Breathing here. A little reach forward with the right hand and then bring it up and back. The left hand grazes the left hamstring and maybe behind the left knee. Breathe and reach, sinking deeper into the right knee, keeping the core engaged. And now straighten the right leg and reach forward with the right hand up past the right toes. And as you've reached as far as you can, let the right hand come down to the inside of the knee, palm facing out, and left hand lifts up. Press with the right forearm against the leg to enhance the twist. So the left shoulder begins to stack above the right shoulder. Core is still engaged. Feel long through the right side body. Turn and look up.
Right leg straight.
Few more breaths.
There you go.
If it feels right, you might deepen. The hand lowers, fingers closer to the floor. Or you can come up out of it a little bit. Now let's bend that front knee. Take peaceful warrior for one breath. And then windmill the hands back around to the right knee. Pop up the left heel to high lunge. Come forward to your forward fold once again. Set up the feet, toes touch, space between the heels. Bend the knees and find that Utkatasana, that powerful pose once again. Take one more breath, sit deeper. Straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Weight into the left leg, hands to the left thigh. Step back with the right foot. Lifting the arms to high lunge, engaging the core once again. Sink in a little deeper, breathing, and then open to warrior two. Shoulders down, relaxed. Power in that back right leg. Outside edge of the right foot really planted firmly into the mat. Deepen on your exhales. And then reach forward with the left. Left hand comes up and back, peaceful warrior. Right hand gently grazing the back of the right leg. One more breath. And then straighten the left leg, reach the right arm forward as far as you can reach out.
Left arm.
And then just let the left hand come down, palm facing out to the inside of the left leg. Right arm lifts, press on the left forearm to enhance the twist. Pressing the left hip back And again, you can deepen, bringing left fingertips lower to the ground or lift out if it feels like too much. Your triangle pose. Inhale to lift on up. Bend the left knee, peaceful warrior. And exhale, windmill the hands back to the left knee. Pop up the right heel to lunge. And once again, step forward to that forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale as you lift halfway, extending the spine, extending the back of the neck. Exhale, fold. Inhale reaches the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands come down. Tree pose. Press into the left leg, lifting the right sole of the foot to the ankle with toes grounded, to the calf, or all the way up to the thigh. You can help to place it on the inner thigh. And then hands can come to prayer at the heart, engaging through the core. Lots of energy in the left leg. And if this feels secure, you can reach the arms up and tall, ribs knitted in, skull back. If you need more grounding, you just let the toes touch, keeping the knee out wide. And let's come back to our mountain pose, Tadasana. Palms facing forward, shoulders are back and down. Navel in and up, crown reaching tall. Take a breath. And then we'll take our tree on the other side. So press energetically into the right leg. The left sole of the foot will be at the ankle grounded for stability, below the knee, or right up into the inner thigh. Find your drishti, that place a few feet in front of you that does not move, to center your focus, to find your balance. Core engaged. Just breathe. One more breath. And on your exhale, release back to mountain pose, Tadasana, with hands to heart. Notice how you feel. And one more time, inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive forward. Bend the knees, toes touch. Come up to Uttanasana, powerful pose, and reach, weight into the heels. And exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Your in-breath brings you halfway up, long spine. And your exhale brings your knees down to the mat. Sit back on the heels. And take a breath here in Vajrasana. Let the feet swing out to the side, holding with forearms behind the thighs. You can begin to sit back, lifting the feet into boat pose or Navasana. Pull up on the legs to lengthen the spine, so you're not rounding or flexing in the back, especially the lumbar spine. So pulling up to lift the heart. You might continue holding behind the legs or let go, letting the core do more of the work. You can extend the feet further out, maybe straightening the legs when you're ready to do so. And then we'll bring the feet back in. Take easy seat, sitting tall, and take a breath. On your exhale, you might let it go with open mouth. One more time, inhale. Let it go. Exhale. So once again, we'll go into Navasana, boat pose. And you take it at your own position. So it might be here holding, heart lifting. You might release, you might lengthen, and you might come down to half boat, where heels are lifted and shoulders are lifted. And feel the shake, feel the heat, feel the core strength building. One more breath. Bring it back to Navasana. Hold behind the legs to lift and lengthen. And bring your legs back down. Hands to knees, easy seat. Take a breath. One more. Nice. Feet come over to one side, come back up onto the knees. Here we have knees about hip width apart. Feet straight behind the knees. We're going to move the hands behind our hips as if we're putting them into back pockets. Or the backs of the hands could just be on the sacrum with palms facing out, whatever is more comfortable. And from here, we're going to start pressing the hip flexors forward and start to lift the heart. Start to lift the chin, coming into this feeling of a back bend shape, which is more in the upper back than the lower back. So keep pressing the hips forward. You can bring the body back. Maybe the fingertips touch the heels. Keep pressing the hip flexors forward. Maybe the head comes all the way back, gazing up. And then we'll slowly bring it back up. Cross the ankles behind the seat. Come on down to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together. And here, holding the ankles, we're going to again draw the heart up and forward, coming to the front of those sit bones. And then keeping the soles of the feet glued together, move the heels away from the body so that the legs create this tall diamond shape in the space between them. One more time, lengthen, standing the spine, and then hinging at the hips. You can just clasp around the ankles or maybe hold around the toes for a little leverage to keep extending and drawing the heart forward. A couple breaths here. And then finally you can just lean forward into it and let the head sink down. And then your next in breath, come halfway up, lengthening, let the heart move forward. And then walk the hands behind the legs, bringing the knees together. And then rolling down one vertebrae at a time. We'll come down onto the back. Tuck the shoulder blades gently under the back. Bring knees into chest, just give them a hug. And then extend the right leg out, extend the left leg out. Heels a little wider than hips. Arms next to the body, palms rotated up. We have now arrived in Shavasana. Full relaxation, corpse pose. Let your body release, restore, respond to all of the energetic poses that you have just experienced in this practice. In this state of full relaxation, the sympathetic nervous system takes a break and lets the healing energies of the parasympathetic nervous system come into play. Notice any sensation in the body. Breathe into it, expanding it with your breath. And then let it go with the exhale. Let it dissolve, melting into the earth. Let your belly be soft, gently rising and falling like the waves of a gentle lake. Shoulders release. Chin tucks ever so slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. Glutes and hips melt. You'll hear my voice after a few more breaths. Bring your attention now back to your breath. Take a long, deep, filling inhale. Let your belly rise. And an even longer spilling out, releasing exhale. Let your navel draw in to get all of the breath out. Return to a normal breath as you bring movement to fingers and toes. Draw your right knee in, give it a hug. Rotate the ankle one way and then the other. Draw left knee into chest. Give both legs a squeeze and rotate that left ankle around. Now, as you hug your knees, round your shoulders, bring your nose up to your knees. Make the tiniest ball your body can make. And on your exhale, just roll to one side in this tight little ball. Pause for a moment with a breath. And then pressing into the earth, make your way up once again to that easy cross-legged seat. Hands come to knees. Come forward on those sit bones once again. Lift the spine tall, shoulders down and back, gently resting as the crown lifts taller toward the heavens. Pause here in easy seat, tucking your chin, closing your eyes.
If you'd like to join me with hands to prayer at heart center, please do so, or wherever it's comfortable to rest your hands. Embracing our obstacles, the gifts on our journey of self-discovery. They will be overcome with your sense of higher purpose and your strength of will. There never need to be any sense of shame when we come up against a difficult pose or a difficult situation in our everyday life. These difficulties are to be expected. And somehow we seem to need to be challenged and tested in order to understand our own capacities. Yoga practice and life itself is like an obstacle course. Obstructions are purposely put in our way. They make us understand and express our capabilities and learn that we have strengths that we did not even know until we overcome our challenges with a sense of spontaneity and vitality. And as a result, we build our self-esteem and redefine ourselves. The light in me shines and bows to the strong, powerful strength of will and that light within you. Namaste. And we are done. Would you like to unmute?
There we go.
There you are. How'd that go for you?
That was amazing. So it was challenging.
Good.
But not as challenging as I thought, oh, I'll never do this again. So it was, I like that you had the different variations of the poses so that right now I'm definitely in the easiest part of those poses, but then I can watch it again and work into the harder part of it. That was great.
Exactly. So you can grow along, over time you'll grow. You'll get all these. You'll nail them all.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I knew right away that I was doing the right thing because at that first rock back, we did it a couple times, I heard all my spine go.
Yes, you'll have to share that with Dr. Paul.
I will. I'm going to give you a major shout out at BNI, so it's no problem. But
yeah,
was,
I love those back cracks when I get them. It's a little hard on a wood floor, but seems like.
Well, I see now the point of a yoga mat.
Mm-hmm.
Just because sometimes you're dragging your ankles along to get that smooth movement,
mm-hmm.
and that's a little rough on the wood. So I will get a yoga mat.
Yeah. And there's some times where we're down on our knees, and that can be tricky too. So, like if you have like a folded blanket or a little pillow, you can pad underneath your knees.
Okay.
Because sometimes even with a yoga mat, it can be hard on the knees.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also like the meditation at the end. That was very nice. That was The whole thing was more like a spiritual experience for me. It was really amazing.
That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about anything? You could tell I got my rights and my lefts mixed up like 3 times.
That's all right.
So I had
No,
to clear out, but
yeah, that's okay because I could see what you were doing perfectly fine, so it wasn't a problem.
yeah. And you'll know it's coming when you do it again the next time.
Yeah.
It looked like you did really great. I mean,
Thanks.
your little Utkatasana, your little powerful pose,
Yeah,
yeah.
some poses were easier than others,
Hmm.
but the lunges and like when we go back, oh man, I could feel my core really shaking on that one. So I know that's where I have to work. Now, let's say this was a focus on this chakra.
Hmm.
I'm sure you have different yoga for each chakra, right?
Yeah, and what I do in my Yoga for Life program is through the course of all the phases of the moon, I work through all the chakras. So
That's all.
it's a 30-day program, sometimes 29 days, because sometimes that's how the moon is. It's either 29 or 30 days before it repeats.
That's right.
And so day 10 is just where I am today. And so often I notice in my Yoga for Life program, the things that are happening in my life just connect with kind of my message for the day, and what a coincidence that the day that we're sharing your core workout, it's a chakra 3 day, and which is core. So that was just kind of a lucky coincidence. But yeah, so through the course of the month, I go through all the chakras, and then on the last day, I do a yoga nidra, and it brings all the energy from chakra 7 and tapping into spirit, brings it all the way back down through yoga nidra, grounding, manifesting. And then you begin again, chakra 1, with the new moon.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm in love with it. That's what I'm developing. So
That's amazing. So I know you're developing it, but later on it'll be available for us.
yes, absolutely. I'm working on a book right now that's kind of a journal where I'm writing, kind of the message of the day, like I shared with you, and then there'll be kind of journaling prompts where you can do some reflection every day too. So kind of like a 30-day journal.
That's awesome.
And then it's yoga for life, because just like the moon, you cycle
Yeah,
back through. And just like you'll notice as do your yoga practice again and again, you improve. And so, with the Yoga for Life program, it's 30 different yoga sequences, but you come back to them the next month and you say, wow, I remember last month I couldn't do a half boat. Oh my gosh,
right.
I'm doing a half boat this month, right? So it's just a really fun process. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
So do you have a recommendation of how often I do this? Should I do this every day for now, or
You
is it every other day?
you could, or skip a day. You could do yoga every day, but it's good to skip too. Just I would do, like, if you feel like doing it, do it. If you feel like skipping, skip it. But to progress, don't wait too many days.
Right.
I would say, like, as a minimum, to see progress, 3 times a week.
Good. Good to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm on my computer all the time. So that's
Oh,
why I chose Word because that's usually what needs the most work for me.
yep.
So, very good.
Well, that will make a nice little movement break. Work on that core.
Exactly. Yeah, and I can do this right at home. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate it.
Any other questions, Rob? I'm so glad that you gave my Zoom yoga a try, and you're such a good sport. And thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not right now. I don't have questions right now, but as things progress, I'm sure I will have more.
Wonderful. Just shoot me an email, or we'll do a one-on-one soon, or something like that.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
And as far as your background, those pictures are great because they're all even tone, so I can brighten it up, no problem. And
Okay.
then I can take out the little imperfections there,
Do you,
and then
Do you think they're sharp enough?
They are. They're extremely sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, I was impressed by that. So,
Good, good, good.
Yeah. And what size would you like it?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I would like, how, do you know how big Josh can put a design on canvas?
Oh, on canvas. That's a good Josh question. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how big I would need it. What do you think? I mean, I might like to do something like put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I definitely want to put it on canvas as big as Josh can have it on canvas, but it might also be nice to have smaller canvases too.
Right. Right.
So I
And
don't
if
digitally.
no problem. If I make it as large as I can, we can always shrink it down. That's no problem.
Okay.
So that's how that works. And
Because then it maintains
a
the
photograph.
sharpness, right?
What's that?
Because if you make it really big, then it maintains its sharpness when you do things with it, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. If you shrink it down, you won't be able. If you shrink it down too small, it'll be more like the shape rather than the words because you won't be able to see the words too well. You know what I mean? Because they are kind of finely drawn on there.
Mm-hmm.
But the gist of it and the shape of it would be there.
Yeah. And I got really involved with the details on it. So as much as we can enhance the details, I want to do that.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
while you're working on it, I'll give you a challenge to find the serpent.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
All right. I'm sure I'll find it. I'm pretty close to it. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rob. We'll be in touch.
All right. Yes, absolutely, Dawn. Take care now.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.